Hello there and welcome. I'm Kate in the nest, but I'm temporarily away. And for that reason, I haven't remembered to bring my phone holder thing that I use when I'm filming. But I was so excited that I thought I'm hoping that you can persevere with me because I'm filming my first ever video just holding it, like many other people managed to do, in their hand, because I really wanted to show you some things that I have got away from the nest. And yeah, so if you can put up with a few wobbles, it might be a short one, but yeah, I hope you can stay with me. I also hope that you are well, that you're happy, that your week is going fine. We've actually been on the road for our country Oppy little tour that I first did last year. One of the catches, though, is that we didn't realise that we were leaving on the Monday of the long weekend here in New South Wales, which meant that many of the little towns that we went through on a Monday, because it was a special Monday, weren't open. So bzzz, for the first day of the tour. And considering we only had 3 days, that was a bit of a bummer. However, still happy. And so I have in front of me yesterday and today's haul. So I hinted at it for a while, but we are actually in the town of Orange, which is appropriate for our Orange, our kin project, October original, and using words that start with orange. So anyway, that's enough of an intro, and let's get on to my haul. Now, I need to say also that we all recognise in the slow stitch world that it is harder and harder to find embroideries. So I have found a few, and they have surprisingly been scattered across the 2 stores. So I don't know how I'm going to do this, and it will depend on the shakies, but I thought I'd start off with a display of a bit of orangey tones from Orange. So this is a little doily. How sweet is that? It's got beautiful combination of colors, and there were 2 of those, and I found them today at Vinnie's. Now, it's actually the most I've ever found at a Vinnie's, which surprised me because this same time last year I went to that same Vinnie's and found absolutely nothing. So it does go to remind us that you've just got to be in the right spot at the right time and be prepared to always be looking. So 2 little embroideries. Then underneath is probably one of my favorite pieces, and again I happen to have found lots of these goldy orangey tones in this town, and it does have my favorite little motifs of pansies in all sorts of colors. So I felt very lucky to get that. That one was actually from Dirty Jane's, which is a antique vintage big warehouse with lots of different store holders in it. We have one in the town where I live, but I never let myself go because I would just buy too much. But it is fun to visit here, and I know there's one in Canberra as well, but I've not been to that. So that was from there. And from the same place, it's so ironic. I think the universe was hearing me because I was complaining last week that I didn't like stitching on old sheet because I found them quite stiff and hard. And here, I kid you not, the first thing I saw in Dirty Jane's was a pack of these 2 single vintage sheets, and they have been loved and loved and loved. It is so soft, and of course there's these hints of yellow and orange to make well, it made me feel happy, and I hope that makes you feel happy. It also reminds me of my mum and dad's pillow slip, which was more in the goldy tones. But I've just been thrilled to find that, because yes, I will stitch it, and I'm going to use it as my backdrop here, and hope it's not too distracting. Now, I've been looking at what people are using in their stitching, and particularly on big quilts and things, and so I was delighted to come across, for the first time in a while, some of these larger oval pieces in white work. So this has got a really delicate, lovely edging and quite a lot of space to work on there. So I don't know how that's 2 hands across, so that's a significant size for one of those. So I love that. That was from Vinnie's, and it was in the same container as, I think there's 1, 2, actually I didn't open these out, 3, 4 of these napkins with the Battenberg corner. And you know, when we start pieces, it is really an easy way to see. I just see a pouch, of course I do, but you know, these can be harvested, used as whole pieces, as a mini stitch. You know, I would back that and start a block with it. Oh, there's an idea, Kate. So I liked those, but very specially in the same, it was grouped with the napkins. Look at what I found. I think this is my first monogram, and because I've been talking about my mum and Betty, that just jumped out at me. And look at the beautiful tatting that's been done around the edge. Hope that's not too close. Don't know my distance. How am I doing on the wall? Oh, hey. I can't kick off because the camera shakes, but how special is that? So beautiful hanky, lovely fabric, and tatting. So bargain. Okay, I'm trying to make it interesting for you and not do everything all the same way. Many people who go up shopping share these, and so I will share my haul. So I mean, these op shops must see so many of these discarded, but we know how much they cost now. So for me, I was attracted, don't be too shocked, as I always am, to the ecru and natural colours, but I need a red. I haven't had a red crochet cotton before, so that excited me. And similarly, this one's got 2 different blues in it, and I think that little blue is variegated, and it's got a lemon. I will donate back the whites because I don't have much use for that in my slow stitching, but yeah, I thought that was yeah, always, and many people say that. Okay, back to the crochet. Did you notice I've got my little, people are asking about my sleeves. So no, I didn't make this one, but I am attracted to crocheting very much. And you know the story of me being taught by my grandmother at 7 to crochet. So here's a little pineapple that we love. It's beautifully delicate, fine cotton, and will stand on its own as a treasure. So now that I share, you know, I collect not only for my nest, but things go from my nest to others to use on their work now. So that is a sweet piece. Something about raised roses gets me every time, or raised flowers. I'm thinking this is in a lovely ecru darker color, but you know, we could color yeah, we could do lots of things, but they could become a deeper or a whiter colour on a natural piece. And then, so that's two little round ones. And this one, you know, I think previously I might have passed her over, but she's quite heavy and it's a different sort of natural shade, and nice pieces. So I grabbed that. Okay, so we need, how about a bit of colour in your life? I did a funny thing in Dirty Jane's, which I went to last year, and it was a story of me actually being interested in textiles, particularly from India. There's a shop there run by the lady who is in charge of Red Tour. She's on Instagram at the moment because I think she's in Uzbekistan or Morocco or something. But she is a textile lover and has a little stall there. So I looked at this and my husband and I said on the first day, you'll see so much of that block print when you go to India and Jaipur. And I said yes. So I walked away and left it. But I did see, you know, when you think you can't buy that because you're going to be there soon, but I did come home and think I want to start my Country Oppy Tour pouch today or last night, but I stopped because I didn't have enough fabric. So I'm going to use some of this sheeting, but I'm feeling like pink and orange to represent this trip. So today I raced back and I just picked up a napkin, very inexpensive, and it's beautiful, and I can share the bits that I don't need with others. But with it, and I couldn't get this off my mind, was this vintage hand-stitched trim and braid. And you know I've got my Indian pouch already, but I was thinking I could put some of this on it as well. And these are actually reminding me of hearts. So I thought, again, it's orange has got beautiful flowers and lots of what are they called? Irises out at the moment, which are this colour. So for me, I couldn't wait for India to get that. So you'll see that again soon. Actually, I think I've tucked my arm. Maybe you have clever ways of keeping your camera still, but I'm thinking, I shouldn't have said that because now I'm conscious of it. But yeah, this isn't too bad. And in the pink theme, in Vinnie's, someone has started a motif with a rose in it and given up. So I had to rescue that. I picked her up and thought, no. And then I thought, divide it and share. So that's why I have that. Okay, where to now? I've shown you some crochet and I've shown you some beiges and napery, and will we do a little bit of doilies? This is where I was shocked, everyone. I found, will I go this, all of these at Vinnie's, and now I'm looking on Marketplace and online, people are charging quite a lot of money for these. So, and I love them because I include them in my pouch workshops. So because they just go beautifully and match and can be cut in half and used on both sides, and or totally whole. So there's that one. This one's very pretty. Look at those little flowers. And this one's got holes, you know, so you know that they've been loved and used. This one, speaking of, these are orchids, I think. My dad used to grow those. So some stains along, but they're all beautifully washed and starched. And then this one, look, white work, and I think I saw stains and everything, but you know, I don't hesitate now. So that was part of my treasure from the guineas. Shown you that one. This I hesitated at Vinnie's. I picked it up a couple of times and then put it down, but in the end the bird got me. So this is a Semco embroidery that has not been done, and I found it fascinating actually because it's printed in green. So as we run out of embroideries, vintage ones especially, we know now that we can use these. And again, I thought birds, hard to find birds on embroideries now, and as our embroideries disappear, that's great. You know, I could make a stencil out of that. So it was, I think, $1. So as I said, I just thought, well, you can do things with that. Okay, what next? My favorites. Whenever I find them, I just get very excited because so versatile, and you've seen me use these in many works. So little napkin, and they're all different. They're not a set. This one and the one under it came from Dirty Jane's, and I think there's two. Yeah, there's two together there. They weren't cheap, but they were, well, they're not as cheap as the one I found in Vinnie's, but they're beautiful. Look at that one. I think there two there. No, only one. But and I love sharing these because they look beautiful on pouches, and of course in one flower at a time. The leaves and the roses, the leaves and the stems just lead beautifully onto each other. So we can grow a garden already with the sheet underneath. Just makes me happy. Hope it's making you happy. What are you doing as you watch this? I know a lot of you stitch along, so I hope that's what you're doing. What shall I show you next? Because I haven't got a lot more. If I go back to some treasures, look at these two little ones. This is lemon and that very vintage green. Love it. Two of them this morning. So as I said to my husband, we've just come in on the right day, and maybe because it's been after the long weekend, someone has just had time to clear out, and I happen to be the very blessed person who's come in, but it's not showing up the right color, but it's a beautiful vintage green. And speaking of ovals, for October Original, there's a beautiful oval, and I find that quite unusual. It's in variegated. Just when I was getting used to it, my camera has told me that memory is full, so I'm going to speed on. I have more crochet doilies. I found this toaster cover at Dirty Jane's, and these are always a bargain because they have two sides of embroidery, so it's like having two doilies for the price of one. So that's a combination of cross stitch and daisy stitching. Back to the Vinnies today. Look at this, just so sweet. I think that's the holes actually from the label. but there's some stains on it, so I know I've been loved. It's starched, it's been in the cupboard somewhere, but really beautifully stitched with these flowers all over it. So again, a beautiful vignette to be placed on a larger piece of work. So I'm so glad I was able to save that treasure. The trim is also beautifully done, and I will harvest that and we will use again. All right, from yesterday, this one was sunny, 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 and had to come home with me. Isn't she beautiful? I think she's the first doily I saw in Dirty Jane's. Just a beautiful whole piece. And, you know, I don't often see the use of these. Oh, see, now I'm all out of whack. But the green, the beautiful greens and the yellows and a little bit of orange. Oh goodness, it's all starting to happen now. But loved that. Okay, and I picked up, as we always do, these little motif crochets that you can harvest and colour. I'll be painting that with my gouache, a different shape, and this is heavy crochet, so again will look absolutely beautiful on smaller pieces. And there were 2 of these, and they were from the op shop. Okay, I don't want to run out of memory again, so I've got to share, and if I could do a drum roll, I will. This was the moment where Kate in the Nest lost her breath at Vinnie's, because my husband had joined me. I was showing him all this crochet and the embroidery, and I said, this is amazing. He said, Kate, you've just done so well. And I said, yeah, I can't believe it. And I said, and I haven't even started looking at the tablecloths yet. And with that, I put my hand onto a rack of hanging tablecloths, and look what I found. I honestly huffed and puffed. And I'm going to tell you that this is, oh, sorry, I can't. Of course I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to say that I've been looking at similar tablecloths like this on Facebook Marketplace, and, you know, from doily gatherers all over Australia. And it is hard now to get something like this under, well, they're getting up over $50, and I've seen some at $75, etc., and $80 even, because we all know that they are disappearing. But this, my friends, and I don't usually like to, I'm saying this as encouragement really, because if we keep looking, things will come to us. Do you want to guess how much I paid? It's huge. I'm just trying to get the center out, because these pink flowers go all the way around the center and then all the way around the side. This was $25. And I wanted to have it, but B, I just thought, in a way, I love that country innocence that the people there probably did not know how sought after these items are. And I feel, again, right time, right place to rescue and to share with others. These are some of the individual flowers. They go all around, and as I said, into the center. So I feel truly lucky. I can't get the flowers to stay. I'm not a very good arranger, but I hope you have enjoyed that share with me today. I'm just going to make a little flower garden for you to finish up on. We'll have a little, we've gone the vintage yellows and greens. So there's something in this video, I think, for everyone. And Crazy Kate has even got